The Last of Us, the legendary PlayStation series that always finds a new way to reinvent itself somehow or improve on past games. Well, allegedly. I mean, shit, they even have their own TV show now, which, by the way, is due for a second season now. I gotta say, the actor for Ellie kind of put me off at first, look-wise, but I kind of got over it eventually because, I mean, it is just a show, but definitely did take some getting used to. Now, while Naughty Dog is undoubtedly milking the living shit out of what content they do have for the Last of Us series, one of my favorite additions to come out of all this is the mode called No Return, which will be playing in the background throughout the video. But basically, the whole premise of this game mode is survival. And being a humongous fan of games like Call of Duty Zombies, this was naturally going to be one of my favorites. I've always liked games with like an apocalyptic setting, you could say, or just a good survival, endless aspect to it, or just any other apocalyptic setting games in general, such as The Walking Dead, Call of Duty Zombies, The Last of Us, or anything of that nature. Now, despite the fact that my other few videos on The Last of Us are over 2 years ago now, I hope to kind of like portray the game in a different light in this video, because I feel like my last 2 videos on this game series have been kind of negative and not really giving it the chance that I really want to give it. So with that being said, let's get to the bright side of the video. Hopping over to the redeeming qualities, first up on the list, we have the soundtrack. You can go over to YouTube and find about 57 videos for part 1 segment of The Last of Us and all of the sounds and music within it. And here on screen are some of the fan base favorites. I don't think I need to explain to anybody why the music is such a key factor in the series' success, and just adding to the overall element and feel of the game. So huge shout out to Gustavo for making the soundtrack and music on this game happen. Now, back to the redeeming qualities. Next up, we have the gameplay. Gameplay. Where do I even start? Like, this shit redeems almost every single aspect of the game that made us start hating it in the first place. And when I say that, I'm mainly referring to The Last of Us Part 2 story mode, but that's its whole other video in and of itself. One of the main things that I feel like makes the gameplay so fun is the mechanics. The dodging, the crawling, the diving, all of it is really nice and feels really smooth to play. Now with the new edition of Last of Us No Return, I can finally fulfill that Call of Duty Zombies type feel where it's just endless waves of enemies and you and your skill to survive. Plus, the new game mode comes with these 4 underlying game modes, which is pretty cool in my opinion. But these aren't the only things that make The Last of Us gameplay so great. I feel like we can all relate to feeling like the game has a very free roam map, despite it being very objective based, which usually in games I don't like, because I like taking my time, exploring around the map, and just seeing what you can do. Overall, I just like how the game makes you feel like you're going on an adventure with the character, and the map isn't dumbed down to just go to the objective, and there are also being multiple pathways throughout the game to get to the location that you want to go. Next up, we have characters. And for the sake of this video and relatability, we're going to be focusing on part 1 characters, such as Joel, Ellie, Tommy, and a few other fan favorites. But obviously, by far, the 2 characters that stand out the most is Joel and Ellie, and more specifically, their relationship throughout both of the games. Which is undoubtedly why the fans started freaking the fuck out when Abby decided to go golfing on Joel's head. Last but not least, we have the world/environment. Now, this one is going to be pretty quick and simple, and it's pretty self-explanatory. One of the main reasons, if not the main reason, for this game being so immersive to watch and play is without a doubt the world and the environment. Down from the overgrown views of the world to beautiful sights and the very realistic feeling conversations that the characters have with each other while traversing the map. In my opinion, the graphics and the map in this game is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So honestly, I feel like no matter how you take the story mode and the events that happen in it, I feel like the views and all of this really just makes up for all of the hard shit that you go through when playing this game.